We have a special, seminar with our friends from In2ition, Phil Craig and Bishoy Basili. They're going to give us an overview of their project launches for this year and going forward. And before I pass the mic on to them, I just want to say a couple of things. If you joined us yesterday, you joined the training we had yesterday about planning for your 2023 success in the real estate market. Yesterday we had the news about the interest rate increase. Bank of Canada increased by another 0.25%. So, a lot of people, and you'll see this maybe in the news, like it's all kind of doom and gloom, interest rates going up. But I think we need to always take the positive. Yesterday in many ways is good news because the interest rate increase was only 0.25%. It's not like they increased 50 or 75. So it shows that the Bank of Canada and the other banks are likely going to, either hold their rates steady for the rest of the year, or maybe we might even see rates come down later this year. So I think that's all good news for real estate because we all know that supply is extremely constrained in the GTA market, whether you're talking about high rise, mid rise, or low rise. And we also know that immigration levels are not going to go down. They're only going to go up. Every year, I think starting from this year, the annual numbers are like over 400,000 immigrants to Canada. And even if you consider half of them, coming to the GTA, that's a lot of people, a lot of families that need homes. And so I think that will continue to support the real estate market. And as far as pre-con is concerned, if you haven't been involved in pre-construction yet, it's an excellent way to start and build your career, because there continues to be a lot of different projects out there. And I think the last thing I want to say is you'll probably find there's a lot of people in today's market who are ready to buy. They have the money. Maybe it's their investment or their second home. They're looking for deals. So why is right now the best time to buy? Maybe last year or 2 years ago, it's very hard to get good deals because everyone's trying to get a good deal, right? But this year, I think you're going to see a lot of really good incentives being promoted by builders. A very well-rounded package of incentives you're probably you haven't seen before. And that's going to make the buying process easier and probably less costly. So I think those are all good things to consider, as we listen to Phil and Bishoy present what projects they have on sale and what are coming to the market. So I'll pass it off to Phil and Bishoy.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for jumping on the call with us this morning. Hopefully yesterday was safe for everybody. But yeah, so we are here from In2ition today, Bishoy and myself, to talk about everything that we've got coming up for 2023. As we all know, 2022 was certainly a challenging year. So what has happened is a lot of our builder partners have delayed. They delayed projects that were due to launch, sometime in 2022, and now they've pushed them to 2023. So we have a fairly heavy pipeline for, this first half, definitely, and then we've got a number of projects planned for the second half of the year as well. So we're going to try and quickly run through as much as we can. We know we've got a deadline, so we don't want to keep you guys over. What we will do though is we will share this deck and this presentation with Scott and Tony afterwards, so they can share it with you. So you don't need to worry about taking notes. Well, I mean, take notes if you want to. If you need to remember, but certainly you don't need to take screenshots or anything. We will make sure you guys get a copy of this. So that being said, we will jump right into it and talk about our first product launch of 2023. So here we go with Verde Living East Tower. So this actually launched last week. So we had our broker info session for it on the 17th of January. We actually launched the West Tower of Verde Living back in the summer of 2022. So we've been steadily selling. We've made enough progress where the builder has given us the go ahead on releasing the East Tower. So we have 141 units that have just come to market here with some really great incentives. And as Scott mentioned, now is the time to take advantage of some deals that builders are putting on the table. So for this particular project, we've got a mortgage buster program, which is really a cash back program designed to help alleviate cash flow for your clients. So we can talk a little bit more about that when we go over the West Tower a little bit later in this presentation. But just know we've got a whole slew of inventory that has just come to Kitchener from JD at Verde Living, and the price point is really attractive as well. We're looking at units here starting in the 500s, capping out at the mid 700s or so, which our one bed dens include parking. So it's a great deal in a great market with a strong rental pool. So if you've got anybody for Kitchener, please feel free to check this one out. The next one that we'll talk about here is coming to Waterloo, and this is Flex Condos. So Flex Condos is being built by Domus Developments at Prime Sky, and it is coming to Waterloo, just about 10 minutes away from the University of Waterloo itself. It's a smaller building, only about 73 units, 6 stories, but it is being designed as like a boutique style building. So, it's going to be nice. And the floor plans, we've seen some of them very straightforward. So if you're not familiar with Domus is actually really big in the rental game. So they do a lot of student-based rentals. They do a lot of purpose-built stuff. So we know that with this particular project, they are going to bring a strong investor element to it, focusing on rentals. So whether it be rental guarantee, property management, we know that will be built into the package that they offer in some way, shape, or form. So again, Waterloo is a very strong rental market, especially with, University of Waterloo, Wilfrid Laurier, a couple of college campuses in the area. So we're excited to get Flex Condos out. Hopefully we'll see this one closer to Q2 of this year. Another one out that direction is going to be Marquee Modern Town. So this is coming to Guelph from Reed's Heritage Properties. Now, if you're not familiar with Reed's, they're a huge name out towards, Guelph, Kitchener, Cambridge. You drive up Highway 6 into Guelph and it's Reed's signs all over the place. So, they are a very big player out that direction. So we'll be working with them to bring some stacked townhomes to Guelph, right about Speedvale and Woolwich in Guelph, which is kind of central Guelph if you're not familiar with the area. But very close to the university either way. It's 96 units altogether. These are 4-story buildings. What's great about stacked towns is there's not very many of them in Guelph as a starting place, so there's certainly demand for them. But they're that nice stepping stone that, it's not quite a condo. It's not quite a, traditional town. So it's a little bit more affordable in some cases. So, it's great for first-time home buyers, but they also have really great rental potential. So great option coming to Guelph, hopefully sometime in March of this year.
Yes, so we've done Kitchener, Guelph, Waterloo, now all the way to the east end, the other side, Whitby, downtown Whitby, station number 3. This is a project coming by Brookfield Residential, huge developer in the States, huge developer in Canada, 6-story building, 160 units. So with this specific projects, what Brookfield has done here is they have already started construction on this project. So they laid down the foundations. They're about 3 stories high right now in terms of construction. So we will be selling this project midway construction. It has never come to the market before, never been sold before. They just did this as it is the case in the States. Usually they sell while it's being constructed or after being constructed. So that's what they're doing here, and they can afford to do so. With that being said, we will be keeping in mind the pricing. It will be a shorter occupancy for the second half of 2024. So pricings will be more on the resale side. The deposit will also reflect the shorter occupancy. But this is one of these projects that myself and Phil, we get a bunch of calls on weekly basis. When are we starting selling? When are we starting selling? We finally have a time, not a set date, but we know this is coming up mid next month is where we're going to start the broker info sessions and releasing more information, more assets. So as we release these, you guys will definitely receive them. It's a boutique building, 6 stories, 160 units, and we're very excited to release this project. The next one we have is Wilson West. This is a project in Toronto. First Avenue Properties are the developer on here. Keelan Wilson is the location of this building, 12 stories, 255 units. This is right across from Humber River Hospital. We will have a sales office on site, and you will get to see where the exact building will come up, the location, and it is right across from Humber River Hospital. Very busy area. The 401 is there, the 400, the TTC, the subway station, everything is around it. Pricings here are gonna start at about the 500s for 1-bedroom units. So they make a lot, and the floor plans, I've seen some of them, they make a lot of sense. They're very functional floor plans. This is going to be a project that is very investor savvy in terms of the pricings, in terms of the floor plans. It's going to make a lot of sense for investors to rent, to purchase, and for resale value as well. So we're really looking forward to that, and it's also coming up by mid to end next month. The next project we have is Emerson House. This is the first project out of many Mississauga projects we're going to have this year. Mississauga, again, YYZ Property Management, boutique building, 7 stories, 91 suites. This is located on Dundas and Mississauga Road. If you guys are familiar with Mississauga, any of you, it's a higher end area. Mississauga Road is a high end area in Mississauga, down the street from UTM. So this is going to be more of a boutique building, luxury end user building. There will be larger suites in here. The smallest suites will be 1+ dens all the way to 3+ dens, over 2,500 square feet units for the larger units. So it's going to be a luxury product. If any of your clients want something in that category in Mississauga, this is definitely going to fit well in there. Erindale Park is right there. Erin Mills, Mavis, all the shopping, all the commercial plazas, everything is around it. And this is coming out Q1 this year as well, mostly towards the end of this quarter. And more Mississauga.
So the next one we are going to talk about is Exhale Residences on Lakeshore. And we actually just announced the name of this one on Tuesday morning. So this is coming to Mississauga from Brixton Developments. Brixton, they've worked on a few projects in the past. Duo was one of them, Gates of Bronte in Oakville, and South District up in Barrie. But this is going to be their first solo project. So we're really excited to be working with them on this. And it's literally coming to Lakeshore and Dixie. So just down the street, you know, we're here at essentially Lakeshore and Cawthra, almost kind of between Cawthra and Dixie. That's where our office is. So this project is literally in our backyard. It's 279 units, 11 stories. I mean, yeah, this is going to be really interesting to watch, especially considering all of the redevelopment that's happening along Lakeshore here. So if you're not, you know, super familiar with what's happening in Lakeview, which is sort of, you know, the neighborhood in Mississauga, but you know, Lakeshore, Dixie, Cawthra area, check it out because there's a ton of redevelopment happening here, especially at Lakeview Village, which literally I can look out my window here and I can see the Lakeview Village sales office from here. So we will talk about Lakeview Village in a little bit.
Lakeview Village in a
we'll
little
get to
bit,
Lakeview
yes.
Village, exactly. But keep in mind, Exhale is coming. It's going to be a nice sized project with some really great units available. This one we are going to start rolling out sooner rather than later. I believe we've got info sessions planned for sometime mid-February, late February. So stay tuned for more on Exhale.
Mm-hmm.
We also have 859 West coming up. So this is going to be a re-release of units that have been redesigned. So 859 West, we actually started selling this one back in 2018, sold out. The project is, well, almost complete now, but what we've got a run of 2-bed and 3-bed units that had to be redesigned. So those will be available in just a little bit, and they will have occupancy dates set late 2023. So, you know, as Scott mentioned, we know there's a lot of people who are looking for stuff now. You know, we know there's a lot of people coming to the country who are going to be looking for homes. This is great. We know a lot of investors typically want that, you know, stretched out, that really long runway, 5-6 years out, but we know that there's certainly a pool of buyers looking for stuff that's got a quick closing on it. So this would definitely fit the bill there. And I mean, hey, it's in Etobicoke, it's at Queensway and Islington, great spot, lots of great amenities. You can actually drive by the site now and see how much progress they've made. So we're excited to get these ones out, hopefully in the next little bit. And the last one that I'll talk about here really quick that we're super excited about is the Wedgwood on Yonge. So this is coming to North York from the Sorbera Group and the Noah Group. It's coming to Yonge and Wedgwood. So that's on the east side of Yonge Street in between Steeles and Finch. The actual address is 5995 Yonge Street. So it's 38 stories, 451 units altogether. I mean, AAA location. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. The TTC stop is right there. The Yonge Street North subway expansion will be going through the area. I mean, can't be beat in terms of the location. And we're really excited. I mean, people who know In2ition mostly know us as a Mississauga-based brokerage. So now we're starting to do a little bit more in Toronto at that direction on Yonge Street. And Sorbera, we're happy to announce that they've got a number of projects coming to Yonge Street this year. So I think all said and done in the pipeline this year. Not that we'll talk about all of it, but we're expected to release somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 units on Yonge Street from Sorbera this year. So we're really excited. We know this is a hot spot for investors. So stay tuned for more information about the Wedgwood on Yonge coming hopefully in Q2 this year.
Yes, and back to Mississauga, Highline Condos. Brent Haven is the developer in here, one of our larger clients. 9th Line and Eglinton. This is located on the west end of Mississauga, borderline Milton. 6-story building, 187 units. So this area, 9th Line and Eglinton, is a very residential targeted area. There is a lot of detaches, a lot of townhouses are surrounded by it from one side. The other side are the farms leading up to Milton. This building is going to fit really well in the area. It's going to be a boutique building. There is no buildings around there, so I think this is going to be well in terms of investors, even end users. It will fit well in the area, but this is coming out mostly Q3 this year, so later on sometime, maybe summertime, late summer. But before we launch this project, we're launching the next one, Birch Condos and Towns at Lakeview Village, like Phil was mentioning earlier. Brent Haven project as well. Lake Sharon-Dixie, 15-story building, 298 units and 59 townhomes. Townhouses will be 3 stories, either traditional townhouses or back-to-back. We don't have tons of details yet. But Lakeview Village, I mean, sure you guys have heard about the current projects there, Tridell's project, Harbor Walk. We're going in next with Brent Haven for this project. We will be using the same sales office that is currently there. There's so much developments happening in the area, about 8,000 units coming up total in the next 10-15 years, over 177 acres. In their commercial, the residential, the restaurants, the parks, the bars, everything is coming in there soon, and they're really reshaping the area. So this is going to be the second project in there. I'm not sure if you guys, Scott, have you been to the sales office, to Harbor Walk sales office?
Yeah, we were there. I'm trying to think. It definitely wasn't winter. I think it was like early fall last year. Yeah, we've been there already.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah. Yes, so exactly. So this is gonna be coming mostly Q2 this year. We're aiming sometimes in the spring. For this specific project, it will be, so Tridell, they have the bigger units, the end user units, the larger suites, the lake facing units. This is gonna be smaller units, more investor targeted and overall. So it will be pretty also competitive in terms of pricings. We will be releasing details as we get closer to the date. The next one we have is Angus Glen, South Village. This is a project in Markham, Kylemore communities, detaches and towns, luxury detaches and towns, about 204 lots we will be releasing. We have sold phase 1 in 2021, fully sold out, all of them, most of them are under construction or occupied currently. This is phase 2. A lot of people ask us also about this project. Kylemore communities, they do a lot of work in Markham, they build a lot there, they own the Angus Glen golf course right by the site. And yeah, this is also something that most likely will come up either end of Q2 or Q3, but we will definitely keep you guys posted for that one as well.
And there as well, they're having a nice little celebration tonight. So I know Scott, Tony, you guys we'll see one of you. Hopefully we'll see one of you tonight. We're excited about that. Kylemore's really trying to make, broaden their broker network. So we're excited to be working with them on Angus Glen. Can't wait to see what they do there, because those homes are truly stunning. They're very, very nice homes. So
yeah, they will be larger homes overall, but they are stunning, like Phil mentioned, and the townhouses will be freehold towns. So
exactly. Okay. Next one we'll talk about quickly is the Gates of Bronte, and this is an exciting project for us because it's a very exciting builder that we're paired up with. So Maple Lands is an extension of a company based out of Dubai. So they are these massive developers out in Dubai. They've come to Canada. They've worked on a couple of projects, but Gates of Bronte is going to be their first project on their own, and they're really looking to make a splash here. So we're excited to see what they've got in store for us. But Gates of Bronte, it's coming to Pine Glen and Bronte Road in Oakville. It's about 10 stories, 330 units, give or take. Like I said, they are really looking to make a name for themselves. So we've seen some of the designs. They're really exciting. They're trying to make something unique for Oakville. So that's one element. The other side of it is they want to be very aggressive in terms of pricing and incentives and what they offer to clients and to brokers. So they are committed to, making a splash and doing things right. So Gates of Bronte will be coming later this year. We're expecting them to come sometime in the fall. This is a builder that's really going to take their time and make sure things are done right. So Q3, Q4 is when we will likely see Gates of Bronte come to market. Another project that we've been talking for a while about is Vine Ridge Boutique Town. So Vine Ridge is coming to Picton. It's hopefully coming this year from FLC Group. And this is stacked in traditional towns, about 117 units in this first release. It's kind of a bigger plan, but it'll be 117 in their first chunk of units that come out. Now, this is East Picton. If you haven't had a chance to visit Picton up in Prince Edward County, I suggest you go check it out. Maybe not right now in the winter, but certainly this summer, go check it out. Ton of great wineries, restaurants, shops, trails, conservation areas, lots to do out there. It's a really nice weekend getaway spot. So there's plenty of reasons. We know that people will want to invest in Picton. It's just a matter of getting these ones out. So Vine Ridge certainly still on the list for later this year. And next,
again, Mississauga.
Another Mississauga project for us, exactly. This is MW Condos. So, as I mentioned, In2ition, we are a Mississauga brokerage. This is our bread and butter. This is where we've made our home for many, many years. So, JD Development Group and Reed's Heritage Property, two, companies that we've been working with on other projects here. They are bringing this high-rise building to us. It's 314 units, 28 stories, right at Dundas in Huron, Ontario. So it's the northwest corner of Dundas and Huron, Ontario. Agnes is the street address. So we're excited to be working on this one. There's always a market for Mississauga projects. There's always a market for people looking to invest in Mississauga. So we're excited about this. If you've worked with In2ition in the past, we have our heart is at square one there. We've done a lot of work at Parkside Village. So while we wait for that next big square one project to come, we've got MW Condo, which is going to be a great buy for people looking in Mississauga, because we know that this area, Cooksville, has got a crazy number of towers that are slotted to come into that neighborhood as well. So MW Condo, coming later this year.
Yes, and Courtview Condos, next project we have Woodbridge. Royal Park Homes are the developer on here. It's a mid-rise building, 6 stories, 200 units in total, Islington and Napa Valley. So this is located very close to downtown Kleinburg. Kleinburg is a luxury area, end user area mostly. So this building is going to fit that area overall in terms of being more on the luxury side, more on the end user side. There is a lot of greeneries around the conservation park around it. There's going to be a lot of unobstructed views from the building. I was told that you can't see the end of the greeneries from some of the balconies on these units. So we're excited to bring that down, especially that it's in Woodbridge. We usually do work in Vaughan and North York, Yonge Street, like Phil mentioned earlier, but this is Woodbridge. It's a little bit unique that way. Not tons of details yet, but most likely end of Q3 or most towards end of the year as well, we'll be releasing this project. The last one we have on here is a project in Niagara by Everton, 7-story building, about 100 units. So Everton is a developer we've been working with in Edmonton. We've sold out a project for them, townhomes. We're currently selling Midtowns, another project with them in Edmonton. They have done work in Pickering previously as well. So they're bringing this into Niagara, closer to Niagara on the lake. Not tons of details also, but it's something for you guys to keep on your radar. Mostly towards end of the year, we'll be rolling out this project, but details will be sent out as soon as we have it. With that being said, this is the list that we currently have. This is not the final list. There are projects. There is a project that was just confirmed in Ajax by Your Home Developments, a developer we've worked with in Scarborough. We've worked with them in Ajax before. We worked with them in Brampton. So this is another project that's not on here that will come up. Phil mentioned Yonge Street with Sorbera. We have the Wedgwood that we showed, but we may have a couple of more buildings coming up as well. Total 1,000 to 1,500 units on there. So we're trying to keep a busy year. We're trying to keep everybody busy. You know, won't be short of projects to sell.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to have lots and lots of stuff. And as Bishoy mentioned, it's not the full list. What I suggest you guys do is, follow us on Instagram, go over to, our Instagram page. You can get hooked up with us there. We post all kinds of stuff for you guys to, keep track of what we're doing, our brochure updates, project updates, it all gets posted. So, check that out and make sure you keep your eyes on what In2ition has got coming because we will have a crazy year of new project releases. So that being said, we did want to talk quickly about some of the projects that we had just launched in 2022. So the first one is the Grand at Universal City, a very exciting project for us from Chestnut Hill Developments. And Bishoy, do you want to talk quickly about this?
Yes, so the Grand Chestnut Hill, we've been working with them for about 15 years in this area. We currently, it's a master plan community, 4 buildings, fully sold out. This is the 5th tower in the master plan. There will be 2 more coming up sometime later on. But with this tower, we launched this end of last year, November 2022. It was a good way for us to end the year. It really showed with the right incentives, with the right package, with the right deposit, people are still out there looking for good deals, like Scott has mentioned, looking to get a good deal on a project, looking to get a stretch deposit. This was that. It still is. We still have units in there. The occupancy on this building is November 2027, most likely to be pushed into 2028. So very long occupancy. We have the Mortgage Buster program on here, $1,000 per month paid to the client from the developer after closing for 12 months. So they get this cash every month for 12 months. It helps with their cash flow after closing. And as I mentioned, very extended deposit structure, about 6% deposit to be paid in 2023 on 2% payments, 4% to be paid in 2024 on 2% payments, 2.5% in 25, 2.5% in 26, and then 5% in 27. So a very stretched out deposit, which has been very attractive for clients. We also have the model suite. We have a sales office with a very nice model suite on site. We had clients walking in asking for the smallest units. They saw the model suite. They're like, this is very nicely laid out. We want to purchase that. So I encourage you guys, go to the sales office if you haven't been. Take your clients there. If you have any clients interested, you won't be disappointed.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the Grand. The next that we'll talk about is Verde Living West Tower. So we still have a couple of units left in the West Tower out in Kitchener. And as I mentioned off the top, we've got some good incentives here, including that cashback, same cashback program that Bishoy was talking about at the Grand, where you're getting $1,000 made as a payment from the builder to your client. However, instead of it being 12 months at Verde Living, we're offering it for 2 years. So you're going to get 24 months of $1,000 payments plus $1,000 gift card and free parking on those 1-bed den and up units. So lots of incentives to be had here in Kitchener and in Pickering. So, if you've got anybody for either of those sites, please let us know. And the last one that we'll talk about quickly is the Dean, and this is an exciting project for us in South Oakville. I won't talk about it too much, but it is from Rise Development. So this is in South Oakville. It's not North Oakville. This is South Oakville. We've got some exclusive price discounts available. We've got 1 year free property management, or sorry, 1 year property taxes and maintenance fees will be included. A 10% deposit, plus some of our great standard incentives, $0 assignment, $0 rate to lease, decor dollars, cap development fees. We're also offering a free parking space on the 1-bed den units. We are looking to move some 1-bed dens, so we've got some good incentives there. But if you've got any interest, please let us know. We'd love to show you the Dean. We've got a beautiful sales office there in South Oakville, right down by the water. So come check it out if you've got the time, because we certainly don't want to miss out on these incentives. So.
Yes, we're very aggressive with our incentives on here. They're matching what's being offered in north of Oakville, and this is south of Oakville. So for these incentives, for the pricings we have right now, they're very, very attractive. Like Phil mentioned, take a look, go to the sales office. We have one on site as well. If you need to, we'll be there for you guys.
Exactly. So we will leave it there. I mean, we've got some other stuff in here, but I know we've taken up a number of we'll say we've taken up a significant portion of your afternoon here already. So thank you everyone for joining us.
Do you guys have any questions before we end it?
Questions? Well, that's good. That means we've done a good job of explaining ourselves this morning and telling you about all the amazing projects and the great deals that are to be had. Good job, Bishoy. That's good for us.
Good job, Phil. Yeah, no. So guys, I mean, we're planning to give you as much notice in advance before we launch these projects. We're planning to release assets, marketing materials 4 to 6 weeks in advance, so you guys have more time to market, more time to look into it, to start talking about it to clients before it comes out to the market. So we know what the market is going through right now, but we're keeping our heads high. We keep working. And with the right packages, with the right incentives, people are out there, people are buying, investors are around. So yeah, hoping for a good year.
Exactly.
Great, thank you. And it looks like you have projects like all over the GTA, right? Mississauga, Oakville, Pickering, North York, Woodbridge. So if you have buyers who are investing and they're flexible with location, there's a lot of great projects on here. And there's already stuff that's currently on sale with such excellent incentive packages. So if you have any questions, reach out to our marketing team. We'll get the slides from Phil and Bishoy and send it to our agents, and then off we go.
Perfect. And I'll just recap quickly too, because we did throw a lot at you, but just to sort of highlight the first few projects that we're going to have coming this year, right? So we'll have, obviously Verde Living has launched. We will have Wilson West, which is coming. This will be coming in Toronto. We're going to have station number 3 in Whitby. So those two are going to come pretty quickly here, likely in February. We'll find out details about their launch dates and their info sessions. We will also have Emerson House. So Emerson House, we're expected to have a broker info session for that in February. And Exhale Residences, we're expecting sometime February, March to have those info sessions. So that's 4 projects coming to you guys right here in the first couple of months of the year. So we will certainly keep you busy. We know that there's going to be a lot on the market. So just those 4 are what we're
coming soon, very soon.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's it. Well, thank you, Scott.
Thank
Tony,
you, everybody. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you very much for hosting us. If you need anything at all, we are here to support you guys. We're here to help. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And I hear just before we go, our email, phil@in2ition.ca, bishoy@in2ition.ca. Those are both in the chat for you. And as I mentioned before, we are at In2ition Realty on Instagram. So throw us a follow there. Stay up to date on what's going on with In2ition.
Yes. We're both on Instagram as well. We do post a lot about the coming up projects, myself and Phil. It's not hard to find us. Be sure Basili, In2ition, Phil. You'll be able to find us as well.
All right. Well, that's it,
Amazing.
guys.
Have a good day, everyone. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to working with you.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good
Take
day,
care.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, guys.